Okay, welcome back to another episode of Atomic Diecast. And today we're going to do our first Lamborghini on the channel. It's the Huracan LP610 4. This casting has been out since 2015, so it's been around for a little over 10 years now. And I'll get into some of the variants that Hot Wheels has done. But a little bit about the car itself. Hot Wheels, as usual, did a pretty good job of describing it on the back of the card. So let me read that. And it goes as follows. With a name derived from a fighting bull, the Huracan features full LED illumination, a 12.3-inch full-color instrument panel, and a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. It can reach up to 202 miles an hour and could go from 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. So, par for the course of Lamborghini, at least in the modern era. Their cars do 200 miles an hour, at least the sports cars do. I do know that they make SUVs, but the exotics do over 200, and if it doesn't do 0 to 60 somewhere in the low 3-second range or quicker, it probably isn't going to have a Lamborghini badge on it. Interestingly enough, this was a entry-level Lamborghini. It priced right around $190,000, which is a lot of money for a regular guy like me, but for the Lamborghini crowd, it was somewhat of a bargain for what you got. And Hot Wheels brought this out in 2015, right around the time the car itself was released, and it was done originally as a mainline, but it has found its way into a lot of different multi-packs, 20 packs, 3 packs, and 5 packs and 9 packs. So I don't know how Hot Wheels decides what cars become very regular within multi-pack series or not, but this one certainly fits the bill. It's been done in a few special lineups as well. I looked at Hot Wheels Wiki, and I think there's at least 20 some odd of these that they've done variants, but some of the special line cars that stand out include the Forza series. It was part of the Replica Entertainment set that they did. This was the Doctor Strange car. They did World Class Racers and so forth. They have not done an RLC. They've not done a premium that I'm aware of for this actual casting, although they've done a lot of different RLC and premiums for other models of Lamborghini. And perhaps down the road we will see this in one of those lineups. So this one I chose. I've got quite a few Lamborghinis. I've got a display case where I didn't really intend to do this, but I started lining up Lamborghinis, and I looked at them. I do like the Huracan shape. I think it looks really, really mean. To me, it stands out as being sleeker than the older Countaches and things like that. And I picked this one. I've got about 6 or 7 different colors for this casting. And this green was one that, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of green cars in particular, but within the display case, this one stood out. And it came from the 2025 Hot Wheels Motors 5-pack. And the color listed is Verde Salvans. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Or in layman's terms, Kelly Green, because that's what it looks like to me. It's a pretty basic casting. The wheels are PR5s, which stand for Phil Ryleman 5 spokes. The roof is painted black, and they use very dark tinted glass, which does not allow you to see much of the cockpit, but it extends under the roof and forms the rear window. And that window is large enough that when you hold it up to the light, you can see through it, and the motor stands up pretty well. Not great, but good enough to pick out some of the detail. They did some nice tampoing on this, although it's very, very minuscule. On the rear, which is very rare for them, they did the exhaust tips in silver, and they did the license plate in silver as well. There is something that I can't read, but there is some writing on the license plate. It's very faint, and the license plate is very small. But unlike a lot of cars where they use the black underside plastic to form the exhaust, they did that on this, but they did also paint it silver, which again is not really common, but I think it's a great touch on this car. The headlights are accented the same with silver and some some black lines to give it some figure. They put the Lamborghini logo right on the hood. It's very, very small, as you'd expect, but it is there. It's in black and yellow. One of the things I really did appreciate on this one is that they used the front air intakes. I shouldn't say they formed the front air intakes from the black plastic underneath, or bottom of the car. And that, to me, really kind of makes it a little more special. Nothing aside from that is really anything above and beyond what you'd get with a mainline. Metal body, plastic base. The wheels are pretty plain. I wish they'd done something different, but they look okay. Because they're black, you really can't see the detailing that much, which I think is good, because these wheels are very, very common on Hot Wheels. They use them for muscle cars. They use them for all sorts of things, and it just doesn't scream exotic Lamborghini, but with them being blacked out, it works all right. I weighed it. It was pretty light, 31 grams. And we're going to put it down the track here and see how it performs. Okay, the roll test. I'm hoping this does good. We've had some lackluster rollers of late. Pretty average stuff. We've been getting 2s and 3s, and it's been a few months since we've had one that's gone to 4. Maybe this one will be different, but it's really low to the ground, and I'm looking at the clearance, and I'm thinking at a minimum the mid-track transition is going to be a problem, but we'll find out. All right, so here goes number 1. All right, bad. Goes to 2. Doesn't even make it to the transition where I thought it would get stuck. Second attempt. Yeah, 2 again. Hard pull to the left. A lot of wheel wobble. Okay, and maybe a little bit farther than it did on the first 2, but not by much. So I'd say it's a pretty poor roller, not even average. I consider 2.5 to 3 to be normal for Hot Wheels, but it's a good looking car. I like the body design. Again, the color's pretty distinct, and I'm glad I got it. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.